And I am back. Let us return to the beavers. Okay. 2 days before the drought. Will the spatter dock come in before then? It appears that my water tanks will probably be full. Oh, look at that! The spatter dock is maturing. They are beginning the harvest, which means it's time to switch this one from grilled chestnuts to grilled spatterdock. And it turns out that spatterdock is lily pads. Look at them swimming around, harvesting their lily pads. I suspect it's actually the roots that they're eating, not the leaves. We'll see how much they bring in. It's okay, because I do have the dam, and as long as I stop pumping water, the spatterdock will still have water to mature in. However, I somehow think that this rigmarole is not going to be finished in time. Oh my goodness, my beavers have gone to a happiness of 7. This is the happiest that they have ever been. We'll see how long that happiness lasts through this next drought. But also see they're taking their leisure time here. That's part of what's making them happier. Even though only 5 beavers can sit here at a time, it still makes them very happy. Also, I swear there's more beavers in there than are visible. We have extra lodges, so we are getting more children. We have 1 day left before the drought. Do I feel ready? Not exactly. Food needs are being well taken care of, though. Oh dear, they're building the water wheel. They're building the water wheel before they build the platform or the power shaft. That is a problem. Okay, high priority, high priority. This is as low priority as I can put it without, you know, canceling the entire deal, which would lose me those 40 logs. Now, if they make that platform and that power shaft completely inaccessible to themselves, I'm going to be very put out. I don't want to have to put in an extra platform. The spatterduck harvest continues. Yep, they finished that water wheel before they connected anything. And they can't reach it. Okay, fine. I will put in another platform right here because that's apparently how did you get down there? Where oh, you came all the way from over there. Okay, I'm not thinking about it. I'm not gonna think about it. I'm vigorously not thinking about it. Too far from the builders, but they'll swim all the way around here. Okay, the drought has definitely begun. I'm just going to pump water for just a bit longer. Oh, nope, it's already gotten this far. Okay, no more pumping, no more pumping. No more pumping. Go do science. Just go do science, don't pump water. I've still got unemployed beavers, so somebody can run on the power wheel. Keeping things green and lovely, and we've run out of trees here, so I'm going to actually deconstruct this lumberjack flag entirely. I should start thinking about getting my way towards this metal. It is the closest metal, it just seems awfully far. This all is still pending construction, but they seem to have gotten the lower layer of platforms in. Well, most of the lower layer of platforms in. Okay, we've made it through day 1 of the drought. We still have water. The lake has mostly dried up. I could build like a mega-sized dam across the lake and maybe preserve some more water, but I'm not sure what for, unless I was going to be doing a lot more aquatic farming. Although maybe it could be the drought season pumping station. Okay, we are grilling the spatterdock. We're grilling the spatterdock. Oh, we've gotten all the platforms built to put the warehouse on. They appear to be bringing the logs to this warehouse. This whole project sits by the wayside in the meantime. Okay, what if I lower the priority on the warehouse and raise the priorities over here? What if that were a thing that I did? Okay, we're almost halfway through the drought now. We've still got lots of food. We're still at over 100 water. We've got 37 beavers. I'm not sure how much water that needs. I have more unemployed beavers than I know what to do with at this point. Didn't I build a path to this front door? I did not, apparently. So I need to employ more beavers. I think that for the time being and for my current plans, this is the correct number of houses. Okay, if I want to gather all of this metal, okay. Unlock that scavenger flag, yes. And I want to cover all of that metal from as far away as possible. Does that cover all that metal? It's really hard to tell. I guess I'll just make sure it's surrounded and come on. I have no idea if this is enough. It is not. I'm gonna need to make a new district. Just for metal gathering. Thanks, I hate it. Okay, I'm going to have to think about how I'm going to pull that off. I will consider that. I think I'm gonna have to unlock a bunch more stuff for that though. Like not assign priorities. There was something in here. Builder's hut. Yes, a distribution post. Basically, if I were to make a new district over by where that metal is, in order to get that metal, which is something I'm going to do, I would need a distribution post in this district to provide food and water and possibly building materials to the other district. So I would need another 250 science for that, and I think I need to build some more science huts for my copious unemployed beavers. So, more science huts along this road, I think. Just more science huts in general. By exploring the stars, beavers gain more knowledge about the... Oh, so it produces science faster? Whatever. I need to employ more beavers. I'll put one here. And here. And I currently have 6 unemployed beavers. What the hey? So 1, 2, 3, 4... 5. 1, 2, 3. I'm going to need more than just the one walking wheel for, like, I'm going to need another wheel for this. So I have 6 beavers. 2 of them will go back to pumping water. So I need 4 science huts to keep them busy, I think. There'd still be 2 unemployed beavers, but... Okay, wheel. Power wheel. Turn that sucker around like that. Yes. Put in a path. Only two days and whatever is left of this day left in the drought, and I still have over 100 water. Oh, and just for my followers who are still lurking about, I should let you know that I have done an adjustment to my emotes. I now have follower emotes. So even if you do not subscribe to me, the subscriber notes did also get a little adjustment, but not quite as much as there being 5 whole new emotes that any follower can use. They're all Kirby because I love Kirby. So, if any followers are still lurking about, feel free to have fun with those. They got those science huts built so quickly. I'm down to only 4 unemployed beavers. Well, we are definitely too far from the ocean for... We're much too far from the ocean for that to be an issue. Also, I'm noticing here, this water hasn't been going away. I wonder if there's some way I could take advantage of that. Okay, now we're down to less than 100 water. And we have one 0.6 days left. And I have not been paying attention. Oh, so many births, so many grow-ups. And one died of old age while I wasn't paying attention. So I'm just going to pause. We're going to go back to the death tracker. Going to up that again. It is hard to keep track of the old age deaths. I don't get a ping or anything. I just have to like keep an eye on the beaver tracker. I could gather the pine sap off of these. I'm not sure what it's used for, but I know it's used for something. But I don't think I need it quite yet. Okay, we've got the power shafts in, and somehow the one beaver is providing enough power for both lumber mills? Wow, July, you hard worker. I'm still going to have a second beaver get started on here. Okay. Some beavers are hungry, and I don't know why, because we have over 500 food. We're down to 50 water, which is a little concerning, given that we have 34 beavers. But there's only one more day of drought. And if worse comes to worse, I can start pumping the water again. It will be very bad for the spatterdock, but the beavers will not die of thirst. I'm gonna need to figure out what to do about having a new district over here so that I can finally start getting some metals, because I feel like it could be extremely important. It could be extremely important indeed to be getting some metals. At the very least, so I can have more, so I can actually have this big water tank. Okay, just one more day, beavers. You've just got to make it through one more day. Oh, the water's getting low. The water is getting very low. We are still doing excellently on food, but the water is a continuing issue. But with all these science huts running, which I'm probably going to need to build more of because it's the best way to employ beavers who have nothing better to do. Oh, I love it. They're swimming across the river, carrying their logs. It's so beaver. They're just pouring into the grill for the food. They definitely prefer grilled spatterdock to anything else, apparently. And we are out of water. We have no water. Okay. I'm going to unpause these water pumps. And that way, first thing in the morning, they're going to come and they're going to start pumping water so my beavers will not get thirsty. But it's the end of the drought. It's the end of the drought, so hopefully my spatterdock won't die. Oh, they're so thirsty. Pump, little beavers, pump! Alright, and we're going to keep beavers running on these power wheels until the water wheels actually start turning. Or at least, hopefully, 2 of the water wheels start turning. Okay, alright. I'm only seeing a couple thirsty warnings. The water has not... I have not completely dried up my water yet. And I'm not going to, because here comes the water supply! Hooray! Alright, I need so much science right now. I still have 3 unemployed beavers, so what if I were to build 3 more science huts? Oh, they're thirsty again, and the pumping beavers have stopped for the day. Oh, that's an issue. Oh, and another beaver has died of old age, but we had 2 births right after that, so we're doing better than replacement. Alright, back to the tracker. I'm so pleased to be using this part of the tracker so much more than the other part. That's 7. The chestnuts are coming back into fruit. Excellent. Because we are running low on spatterdock. Alright, let's switch back to chestnuts for a bit. Because I think we have a lot of chestnuts around somewhere. Or we should have a lot of chestnuts around. Oh, yes, we do. Okay. And they're pumping water again, so... And I only have 1 unemployed beaver left, and we're just in the process of getting enough logs in for that science hut. So much science! Look at the science spin! Okay, so what I need is a new district center. But first I need... Where was it? Housing? No, those are all lodges. Darn it, I've gone and lost it. Nope, that's bridges. Storage? No. Wait, labor. It was labor, yes. A distribution post. I need a distribution post first. Which actually means I'm probably going to be unemploying some of my science beavers. But what a good reason to be unemploying them, honestly. Okay, so if we we need both the distribution post and the drop-off point. So let's start by... Ooh, interesting. That's very large. Let's see. Where can I put this that would be less than annoying? There appear to be trees in the way all over up here. I should probably log those. But I think what I want to do is put it up here because it's kind of out of the way and somewhere that I'm not using for anything else. And I already have a path up here. So I'm going to put that here. And path to it. And I will wait for more science points to come in so that I can get the receiving center. I'm mainly putting that in now because it's going to take quite a bit of resource. So it will take a bit of time to build, so I have time to figure out the rest. Like, I need a new district center, and I need to remember where the heck that is. There's a district gate here, which is very important. Oh, here we go. District center. These are pre-built as far as I know. You just plop them in. Like if I want to put it... Oh, must be separated by a gate. Okay, so I need to put in the gate first. Let's see, how far does this district reach? So I basically, this is about where I want the gate. This is about the point that I want the gate. Which I should have deleted while I had it selected. Okay, let's try this again. The path reaches to there. So I want the gate here. So put in a district gate there. Put in a district center up here. And once I have enough science points for the drop-off point, I will get right on that. I'm not sure where the drop-off point has to be. I think it has to be on the new district's side. I am going to label this metal, just so I remember why it's here. So it should easily reach this metal. So I need like maybe 2 beavers there. Like, where's my metal? Brain, where are you today? Okay, if we put in 2 of these flags, and then once I have the receiving post available, I can migrate 2 beavers over here who can harvest all of this metal, and then they can be migrated back to the main district. Oh, except that they're going to need their own distribution post so that the metal can be brought from there back to here, and oh boy. Problems that I am going to worry about in future. But I might have to migrate like 3 or 4 beavers over there. that does not enthuse me. But I really want to start storing more water. I had just enough water to make it through this last drought, which means I'm not going to have enough to make it through the next drought. So I need more water storage, and I need it to be close to filled by the next time that the next drought comes around. Logic. So I really want to get on that metal. And I am producing a lot of science right now, so I think I might unlock those solid levees and build a big dam across this area. See if I can't flood this area to keep more water there. If I can back up enough water that it actually starts flooding here, that would be pretty amazing. But first, figuring out this distribution stuff. Oh, thirsty beavers. Poor thirsty beavers. There is water being produced, so they're not going to have a problem, but it makes me sad to watch them running around with those yellow markers. It's interesting to me that my loggers rarely seem to reach this bit down here. I wonder if I should add a third logger to this section. There is no good reason not to. Let's add another logger to my semi-tree farm. Actually, not semi-tree farm, to my tree farm. Because these trees are maturing to the point that they're actually producing sap, which is a lot longer than I expected. So maybe by adding a third logger beaver, we'll actually get to those trees. At least that's the thought I'm having. And I still have an unemployed beaver, so you know what? I'm going to put a flag up here as well. Just to clear out the trees that are up here. Oh, that would explain a great deal. I haven't even got this bit set up to be logged. There we go. Now, hopefully out of these 3 flags down here, one of the beavers will go over there. Yeah, I love watching the beavers swim across this river with their logs. That's just great. I love it. And then they swim back across with the, well, the boxes, but they're the planks. They're swimming back with the planks. Food is looking good. We're producing quite a bit of grilled chestnuts. Although we don't have so many chestnuts on offer. I wish I knew a way to keep track of how many uncooked food ingredients I have. There doesn't seem to be a way. Well, I constantly have unemployed beavers. Why don't I just build a second grill and set it to Spatterdock, and then I don't have to think about it anymore? I mean, right now I don't actually need these beavers on the wheels, so I can unemploy at least one of them and set them on grilled Spatterdock, and life will go on. And we have built the distribution post. And I believe we have enough. Yes, we have enough for the drop-off point. Which we want right here. Wait a minute, where do we want it? I think we want it here. Oh, and it's a ploppable. That's good. Okay, so in full ridiculousness, we also want a distribution point over here. What if I did this? That doesn't feel any better than doing this. Why is this such a weird shaped building? Okay, fine. We have a distribution post that I want there. And heck, you know what? I'm gonna put a drop-off point right on the other side because this is the way my brain works, folks. Okay, so if I pause the power wheel, and that employs a beaver at the distribution point. We want a route. Add a new route. Add a new route to we want to send them carrots. We want to send them water. Yeah, we want to send them carrots and we want to send them water. Oh, can you only send one thing per route? Is that a thing? Okay, well, water. And carrots. Does that mean I'm gonna need 2 workers? Well, we'll find out, I suppose. Oh, and they are actually bringing materials to build this distribution post across the line. All right. Okay, they're bringing water. They're bringing water. I want to build up a little supply here, and then I'm going to migrate a couple of beavers over to that district. I'll pause some science to do it. But speaking of which, we've built up some more science, so I want to go with my plan for this area here. So I'm just going to pause for a moment. I want a levee. And I want to build it across where it's nice and tall. Yeah, I want it right a straight line across here. And then I want a dam on top of the levee. Yes, just like that. And we'll path over the top. We'll just go in a straight line and connect to that path and hope that it's good enough. Oh, we're gonna hold back some water here, babes. If this works, I may build a levee wall right along here and extend this upwards by another tier just to hold back more water. But first I'm going to try it this way. Multi-tier water system. Okay, so it looks like I'm going to need 1 beaver per route, which means 1 to carry water and 1 to carry carrots. But I have 2 beavers employed in here. So why are no carrots being sent? Oh, because I have no carrots. That would be an excellent reason. We have eaten everything but the berries. That would be an excellent reason why we are not sending any carrots over. I think I'm going to have to build another water pump. I think that is a thing that is going to be happening. what if I put them in over here? What if I put another couple of water pumps in over here? I'm going to try just putting in one for now. I mean, ideally, I would want more than one of these big water tanks. I'm just not sure how I'm going to be fitting things together. So, paths are easy to delete. But I think it's time to employ another beaver for water pumping because these tanks, they're not filling. Oh, I've had 2 more beavers die of old age while I wasn't looking. I'm not good at this, paying attention to old age deaths. Alright, we're up to 9 now. And they still haven't built this warehouse. Still short on planks. We're getting low on spare timber too, I notice. I am probably going to have to pause some science. Let's see. Yes, there's a beaver employed here who is logging these birch trees. Oh, one whole log from each birch. Oh boy. Okay, I am putting this on a high priority because we need some water. We need some water pumped. Okay, 42 carrots and 66 water. It is time to migrate some beavers. So what I'm gonna do is I'm going to pause 2 of the inventor huts and migrate 2 adults to metal. Okay, 2 beavers live here now. And how do I get them to scavenge the metal? They have the scavenger flag. They should be scavenging the metal, right? Okay, for some reason, I have to keep a beaver employed at the depot for whatever reason. So I'm going to pause 2 more inventors' huts so that somebody will go and pump water from the new tank, and we will migrate 1 adult over to the metal district. And hopefully the other one will go and pump some water. Nobody's pumping water. Okay. 2 beavers employed on the scavenger flags. 1 beaver inexplicably employed by the district center to sit around and do nothing. One route of metal. Where is metal? Metal block? Is that what they're gathering? It must be. Okay. One thing of metal block. To go back out to the Prime District. And they are going to be homeless until they get rid of that metal. Then they can come and live back here again. Ah, here we go. Okay. Distribution limits. There are only 3 beavers over there. So... I'm going to make the high 30 for water. And 30 for carrots. I think that's the way it works. We'll find out. Okay, we have reached the point where I'm just going to pause science until a beaver starts pumping. Okay, we now have a beaver pumping water. And 3 unemployed beavers, so 1, 2, 3. This should be enough carrots and water to keep them going for the entire time, honestly. And yes, we have these 2 beavers gathering the metals. And I have another old age death. I am going to need a gear making fast factory right after I record this death. And power-wise, it's really going to be easier to do it over here. So... a smelter. Oh. Oh, I see. This creates metal blocks. Can I not distribute just the metal? Hold on a minute. berries, book, bread, carrot, cattail cracker, cattail flour, cattail root, chestnut, explosives, gear, grilled chestnut, grilled potato, grilled spatterdock, log, maple pastry, maple syrup, metal block, paper, pine resin, plank, potato, scrap metal. Okay. That was my problem. I do not want that, I want that. And, oh, you know what? We want to give them a warehouse to put all this scrap in because nobody's distributing it right now. So, small warehouse. Sure, right there. With any luck, the beavers from the Prime District will actually build that for us. I need more water storage. I need the big tanks. Right, back to the metals. To turn scrap metal into metal blocks, I need the smelter. To turn... Okay, that's the mine. How do I make gears? Where is the make gears part of any of this? Is there a help menu in here somewhere? Not there. Well, I think I'm seeing a bit of the early accessness of this because how to make gears, do not know. Let's pull this up again. If I'm reading this smelter correctly, you put 2 scrap metal and 2 logs in, you wait 4 hours, and you get a metal block. So how do you get gears? Are gears not metal? Are gears wood? Have I been going... Gears are wood. Gears are wood. I've been going out of my way to get metal when I needed wood. Oh. Feel free to cast aspirations on my intelligence now. Okay. Gear Workshop is a grand 100 points. And it is possible that if I do this, it will be connected to the power? Let's find out. Oh, I feel like such a dope. I could have had large water tanks so much earlier. Let's see, how do these things fit together? Not very well, as it turns out. do I do this in a semi-efficient way? I thought gears were metal. What am I gathering all this metal for now? Why would gears not be metal? Also, this is gonna take a really long time, so... Okay, that's done. I can delete that. Which gives me an unemployed beaver to put in another pump. Okay, I thought I told this to stop at 30. Okay, how do I get 15 logs delivered to this district? And only 15 logs. Oh, sorry, that's 14. 15. Maybe it's the low that you're supposed to set? Let's try setting the low. I don't know how this works. I'm just experimenting. But if we can get 15 logs delivered over here so that they can build their warehouse, that'll actually give the district center beaver something to do for a short time. Oh no. Oh no, 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 no. I have a feeling that the reason that the colony's water is so low is because we've been sending all of it over to the new district, because they've got 100 water in here. So you know what? I am going to turn off I'm going to turn off their water and carrots. receiving some logs. This is very bad. I'm having a hard time thinking of how this could be. The water tanks are so empty, and we have a drought in 2.5 days. And the gear workshop doesn't have power. Blast it all. Okay, we are obviously not getting the big water tanks filled anytime soon. This is very bad. I'm going to turn up their working days just to try to get some more water. Because this is horrible. I don't think it's possible that we have enough wood for all these, but my attempts to get metal have doomed my colony. Oh dear, oh dear. We might get another tank in. But getting these tanks filled, I don't see how. And this flag can't gather those berries anymore. I can fix that. I can fix that. I can. That is actually fairly easy. You just put in a platform, and then they can run across again. There's not going to be enough water. There is not going to be enough water. Okay, they have built their warehouse. They do not need any more logs. We send them nothing more. We send them nothing at all. They've got 60 carrots and 94 water for the 3 of them. I'm sure they'll be fine. Okay, so I still need to figure out how distribution centers work because they were prioritizing sending water to the other district over storing water for the prime district. So I need to figure out how to set limits. That's what I know now. I need to learn to set limits. I'm also going to need to figure out a path to back here so that I can build some power stuff for this gear workshop. But surviving the drought is much more important than that right now. Okay, what if I were to build a hauler's post around here somewhere? Because right now, I think the pumping beavers are carrying their own water from the pump to the barrels. And that just seems inefficient. Oh, look at that! They did get part of my dam project built here. That one block is not going to do much good, I'm afraid, but... This is not going to be enough water to see us through a drought. Like, having all of the barrels that were along here full just barely saw us through the previous drought. We haven't even got the barrels full now. We've got some of them full. Oh, and the water is already up here. Oh. Okay. I'm going to pause the pumps for now. I'm going to get people running on these water wheels. I'm not sure what I'm going to do with the other two. I'm probably going to set them to science. Oh, I'm so worried. I don't know that this is enough water for 6 days. I still have one unemployed beaver, but so be it, I guess. These guys will be fine as they are for a while longer. They can just continue gathering metal in the middle of their wasteland. They have plenty of carrots and water. So I need a solution over here. The beavers need to get over there. So probably the easiest thing to do would be to put in some... Let's see. Levies just use logs. So you know what? I'm going to put in a levee right here. And then power. I want a corner. I want to aim the corner in the correct direction. Not that way, that way. And then I want a power shaft that goes that way. And I want a path that goes just around this building. This is awful, I hate it, but I can take it out once it's done. Yes. Yes, there we go. Yes. Okay, if I haven't accidentally killed my colony by going for metal too soon... They're all thirsty and hungry. Both of these are things that can be taken care of right now. For the time being, we have plenty of food and plenty of water. We still have 5 days. If I have to deprive the Spatterdock of water, I will. But I'm not going to start pumping water until we get real low. Lazy Moofle, hello, welcome. I am worrying about my quantities of water during the drought. You came at a perfect time. Things would be going really well if it weren't for my concerns about the water supply. I am terrible at math, so if you are better at math and know how much water each of the beavers drink, that would actually be quite handy. Knowing whether or not I have enough water to see me through this drought would be a great ease to my mind. 2.2 per beaver per... That's both adults and immature beavers? Yeah, math is not my strongest suit. I'm fairly good with words. But unfortunately, I ended up being so good at words that, well, numbers kind of escaped. Thank you very much for the follow, Lazy Moofle. I do have follower emotes if you'd like to use those. And I do appreciate the follow. If you're here specifically for Timberborn, I will be playing it every Thursday, starting at 7:30 p.m. Eastern Time, for at least the next few weeks. I tend to switch around my Thursday games every few weeks. But it will be Timberborn, at least into April. Okay, so if it's... Okay, I've got a calculator. I have an actual physical digital calculator on my desk for just times like this. So if it's 2.2 per beaver per day, pause for a moment, and I have, let's call it 4 days left to go, just to be even about it, I need 8.8? That doesn't seem right. That seems like low. that this isn't leaders, is it? What is this? I don't know. Well, it's good to know the beaver numbers, but well, the game doesn't exactly have much of a plot, so it's hard to spoil it. Oh, right, it's 2.2 per beaver per... Okay, so I have to... Aha, yes, there we go. All right. I didn't do enough math, that's the point. Okay, it's 2.2 per beaver. I have 39 beavers. And then you multiply that by 4, and that equals 343.2, which I don't have. So I will have to start pumping probably on the last day. But I should be able to keep my carrots and my spatterdock alive by putting it off as long as possible. And there is kind of an excessive amount of water over here, so if I am in a panic, I can migrate a few beavers over there to steal some water. Yes, I know that I can if I have to, but I prefer not to. I don't know how many days a beaver will be able to go without water. I haven't tested to find out. I like the beavers too much. Why are so many of you hungry? Go get food. There's so much food. Oh my goodness, my work day is still so long. That's what I did. Okay, we're going to shorten their work day so that some beavers can actually get some food. And I think I read somewhere that they drink less water if they're working shorter hours. Man, I still had them on 20-hour days because I was so frantic about getting water before the drought. I still have 2 unemployed beavers, which I would love to put in the hauling post if they build it. Actually, come to think of it, let's put this back to neutral priority, and we'll nudge this one's priority up again. Okay, 3 days is too long, but 1 day might not be too long. That is good information. So my main concern is killing the carrots and the spatterdock. I would prefer not to. I'm not sure how long the spatterdock can be dry before it dies, though. I know the carrots can be dry for a day before they die. But I can't quite remember. Actually, it's not remember. I've never actually dried out the spatterdocks. I don't know how long. It doesn't tell me unless I dry them out, and I don't want to, because they're good food. They take a long time, but, you know, lots of calories in them. We're still feeding the beavers mainly on berries, though. Okay. Oh yes, definitely. I wasn't going to run out of water that soon. I had enough water for a few days. I just didn't have enough water for the entire time. And completely unconcerned over here are my scrap metal gatherers. Because they have lots of carrots and lots of water. They'll be fine. It's these guys I worry about. These guys are going to run out of water. But yeah, hopefully they'll use it up a little bit slower with a shorter workday. Once the drought is over, I'll bump them back up to 16, I think. That one water wheel is just turning. All of this just because I don't want to start over on the carrots or the spatter dog. The trees will be fine. It's only 2 days now. The trees will live longer than 2 days. But I'm gonna get the beavers through this drought before I'll end this stream. I would very much like for them to build this hauling post. They're very close. The pine trees work really well as building supplies. They cycle just about as fast as I decide I need new things. And we have the big water tanks, which, well, they nearly have enough planks. They just need gears, and I just need to get power to the gear factory. So I'm going to set that as priority once they get the haulers post going. Because I'm tired of watching everybody carry their own stuff. I've got spare beavers. Why should I not use them to carry stuff? Oh yes, I do have 3 homeless. I was like, 3 homeless beavers. Yeah, it's the ones over here in the Metal District. They've got a spectacular distribution post here, but they have no home. Oh yeah, I should have built a hauling post ages ago, but I was just occupied with doing other things, and I just kept forgetting that I could do that, and that I could have, you know, other beavers carry the water and not the pumping beavers, and, you know, stuff like that. It's very easy to distract me in games like this. Okay, so we will have we will have the hauling post tomorrow. We will have the hauling post tomorrow because it's got all the materials. It just needs a beaver to actually, you know, slot the Lincoln logs together. Am I showing my age when I say that? Alright, I have a hauling post and now I don't have any unemployed beavers. And hopefully they will get to the power shafts for for my gear workshop now, because I somehow managed to think that gears were a metal thing. I'm not building efficiently. I will fully admit that. I wish I was building efficiently, but no. Okay, the drought is nearly over. This is the last day of the drought. The water is getting terribly low. In fact, all of the remaining water is actually over here. Yep. Okay. All right. I am unpausing 2 of the pumps and pausing 2 of the inventors. And we will get the main colony some water. And hopefully I won't drain things too much around here. That's why I'm draining over here instead of over there. The current plan is to make a bit more of a catch here. Possibly I should have put in floodgates instead of the levees, but if this works the way that I think it will, in that like filling up water up to the edge of this, then what I'm going to do is I'm going to build a levee wall along this edge, and then I'm going to put in floodgates for here so that I will be able to release water. Okay, it's nighttime. It's nighttime and it's the last day. So many beavers are thirsty. Okay, going to unpause these 2 water pumps and pause 2 more of the inventors. Is there a beaver? Yeah, there's a beaver who works here. Okay, even though there's no power. And when they get up in the morning, they will get to pumping. Yes. I see all 4 pumps going. Drink, little beavers! And with the hauling post, hopefully the pumping beavers will no longer have to carry their own. You're walking through the water thirsty. You're walking through the water thirsty. You're a beaver. What the hey? And the scrap metal district continues on as it always has. It is run out of carrots. Okay, we'll send them some more food. I didn't want to select that beaver. Let's see. Oh yes, select a drop-off point. Yes. Okay, we want to... You know what? We're gonna send them berries. We have so many berries. And distribution limits. Okay, I'm gonna try setting the high to 20 and the low to 15, and I'm gonna see what happens. We're gonna feed them berries. And we will have to send them some more water soon, but there's only 3 of them, so 43 water should be fine for them for a while. They don't actually need those 4 logs, but they needed logs so that they'd build their warehouse. Let's see. Scrap metal, scrap metal. They've got 64 scrap metal in there already. That's excellent. I didn't go and calculate how much metal there actually is in here, but we'll just, we'll let them do their thing. Baby beaver, why have you wandered that far, baby? What are you doing over there? Wait, you're 26. You're homeless. Oh, you're just wandering around because I've still got a 12-hour workday. That's what's happened. Okay, all right, we're doing good here. Let's prioritize that power shaft. I want those big water tanks, darn it. Okay, so I still have everything set to a 12-hour workday, which is frankly ridiculous for beavers. So I'm going to set them to 15. Because we really need to refill the water here. And come to think of it, we can pause these power wheels because all three of those are going like mad now. Which might unemploy some beavers. No, it did not. I guess they must have gone... Yeah, look at that. They just put themselves straight into the hauling post. Okay, I don't have a problem with that. I mean, we still have 6 beavers doing science, so if I really need beavers, I can just pause more science. And the gear workshop has power. Oh, I might yet get my big water tanks. Okay. They did not die in the drought. Nobody died in the drought. They have 74 berries when I said, you know, the upper limit was 20. I don't understand how this works. But be that as it may, they have 74 berries, so I'm going to stop sending them berries now. I guess I'm just going to have to remember to keep an eye on that and just keep turning the routes on and off as they need stuff. Because you can't just set and forget, apparently. I love looking at this dam. This dam is just beautiful. This dam is going to be pretty amazing too once they finish it. They'll work on it. One block at a time they'll build it. I don't know if they'll have it by the next time that the drought comes along or anything like that. I don't know if they're ever going to finish this big warehouse. There never seem to be enough planks for it. I mean, I have 2 plank workshops. Well, someday I'll have a big warehouse there. Someday that will be a thing that I have. More trees? Well, I seem to have the right amount of trees. I have 3 lumberjacks and 1 forester, and the trees grow back at pretty much the rate that the foresters are gathering them, to the point where they're never actually reaching these trees because these ones at the leading edge become mature before they get out back there. So I seem to have a good tree cycle going here. I am using all the logs, but I am not hurting for logs. I am keeping up with my own demand and getting a good cycle on that. So I think I'm good on that. It's just the planks are a bottleneck because they take time to make. And I don't want to make more than 2 plank factories. I just don't. So I am going to be getting gears really slowly because I only have 2 plank factories and 1 gear factory. But currently the only thing I need gears for are these large water tanks. So while it makes me a little twitchy when I think about the next drought is going to be longer than the previous one and so on and so forth, I'm not feeling too bad about producing gears as slowly as I am. It would be nice if this warehouse could be finished because my 2 little ones keep filling up. Currently only one of them is full, but I would really like to have the big warehouse finished someday. Only 20 more planks to go! Yeah, gears are slow. Gears are very slow. I would love to have these 2 big water tanks there and full for the next time that I have a drought. But I kind of expect that it's going to be the drought after that I'm going to have the big water tanks for. So I just have to be hopefully prepared to survive that. And speaking of water, how is the supplies going over here? Oh, you guys still have 24 water for the 3 of you? You're fine for another day. Nerf a little cost. Okay. But yeah, planks are very slow. I have to say, planks are just slow. But what are you going to do? At least I have 4 haulers now. So the workers should be able to get more work done since they're not having to haul their own stuff. At least that's the idea. But yes, it is nearly midnight. So I will worry about how much water the metal district has on its tomorrow and my next week. This is where I'm going to call it tonight, and I'm just going to double check to see if did I miss any? Yeah, no, there hasn't been any old age deaths recently. All right. It has been very nice to meet you too, Lazy Moofle. Your information about the water usage was actually useful once I remembered that I needed to multiply that by the number of beavers. Well, I and Timberborn will be back again next Thursday. So, actually, let me save this just to be certain. I don't want to exit. I wanted to save. What is going on here? I wanted to save game. Oh, I must have double clicked. That must be what happened. Okay. All right. And I will pull up my schedule. I will be back again on Sunday night starting at 10 p.m. Eastern Time. I will be playing an RPG that is very Dungeons and Dragons called Celasta, Crown of the Magister. And then I will be back again on Monday at 7:30 p.m. Eastern Time. I will be playing a massively multiplayer online game called Lost Ark that I've been having a lot of fun in. I'm running a low-level bard in there, just working her up through the low levels and crashing dungeons and killing bosses and doing what I can do and having fun. On Wednesdays at as close to 7 p.m. as enough people can be brought together, I play Among Us with a pack of my local writer friends, plus a few little add-ons, mostly local, that we have brought in over time. And then Timberborn will return again next Thursday, starting at 7:30 p.m. Eastern Time. Will be Try Not to Die Thursday, and I will be returning to the beaver colony and trying to keep them alive through more droughts. I don't actually know what the win condition is in this game. I only know what the loss condition is. But in many ways, it's kind of like the other management games that I play. Like City Skylines is another game I really love that has no win condition. None at all. But it does have loss conditions. Oh boy, does it. So I don't actually have a problem with it not having a win condition. As long as it has loss conditions, I'm okay. So, this was actually the first time that I streamed Timberborn, so I am very happy about the information about the water. That's very useful. Well, yes, exactly. My win condition in this game is to be able to continue playing, as far as I know and as far as I'm going to treat it. So, that is the way that it's going to be. So, it has been a lot of fun, and I hope that all of you have had at least as much fun as I have. And I do hope... Oh yes, good night, Green. And good night, Lazy Mufu. I hope that you have a great weekend, and that maybe I'll see you again on Sunday or next Thursday. If all you're here for is Timberborn, I'll see you next Thursday. I hope you have a great night. Good night.